Rossum. She's an attorney as well as an environmental activist slash constitutionalist and a community organizer with only one focus. How do we save the environment by creating and using the legal system to save the planet rather than just defend it? How did you get started on your journey to save the planet?
I actually started my environmental activism about 30 years ago. And over the course of my environmental activist journey, experienced all the ways our laws fundamentally fail to protect communities and our earth. And I founded this Green Amendment pathway in about 2014. So about 9 years ago, I started Green Amendments for the Generations as an outgrowth of that realization of how our laws just so fundamentally fail to protect our environment.
Like, could you give me an example of what you're talking about?
So even if we were to enforce all of the environmental protection laws exactly as written in Florida or nationwide, we would still have serious pollution and degradation of our water, our air, and our environments, because our laws are focused on legalizing pollution through permitting. In other words, an industrial operator wants to put pollution into the environment. Really, all they need to do is go to a state or federal agency and get a permit that tells them how much they can pollute and degrade. The laws don't actually focus on preventing it.
What I want to know is how could you, all the people that are listening, what could we really do besides calling our legislators and yelling at them and complaining to them?
Yeah. So you have 100% put your finger on a big part of the problem, which is that industrial operators and developers have much more access to the levers of power. They can rub shoulders with politicians and they give them money through lobbying. And as a result, they have a lot of say over what laws do or don't get passed, how they're written, and whether or not they're getting enforced even when they are written. And because there is no right of the people to a clean, safe, and healthy environment, there's not much we can do about it. So the way we flip the script is we actually add to the Bill of Rights section of our state and ultimately our federal constitution a constitutional right to a clean, safe, and healthy environment, things like clean water and clean air, so that our environmental rights are given the same highest constitutional standing as things like the right to free speech and freedom of religion. And what that means then is when our lawmakers or our laws fail to properly protect that fundamental right, because it is in the Bill of Rights section of the Constitution, we have the power to use the Constitution to hold our government accountable.
Well, how do you go about making this the law of the land?
We've gotten constitutional, what I call green amendments, in 3 states already, Pennsylvania, New York, and Montana. And we're seeking them again in over a dozen other states. And one of them is the state of Florida, where there is a ballot initiative going on right now. And if enough people sign petitions to say they want to have the right to vote on whether or not they get a constitutional right to clean water, then all Floridians should ultimately get that opportunity in November of 2024.
Well, the book is called The Green Amendment, and it explains how our current government laws have failed most Americans, except for the very rich. And most important, if they wanted to get more information about the Green Amendment for Generations, do you have a website?
Yep, it's www.forthegenerations.org.
Well, thank you. This is good information. I'm going to go look them up myself and see where I fit into this really big mosaic picture. Well, there you are, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a delight. Thank you.